What's up, guys? Welcome back. Got my buddy Ron here, and we're working on his Mojave. He's got one of the front mount camera systems. It happens to be an Amazon one from a company called eWay. It looks fairly similar overall to the Z Automotive one, and kind of taps in a lot the same way. But we're going to be doing an install today, and we're going to have you along and kind of show you what we're doing and kind of give you some of his feedback. He had this same system before on his JL and liked it, so I figured why not give it a try here in the JT and you know, use it. So all right, guys, we're gonna get started here. So this is what the system comes with. Comes with the camera. The difference with this one versus the Z Automotive one is it has like a very small pin system and then a harness that has kind of the same setup to it, so it taps together. Comes with a wire fuse holder, and then of course the tap for the cigarette lighter, and then attaching to that is the other end of that harness, and then your video output, and then your video output connection for the back of the radio unit where it taps into the two plugs. We're actually going to scrap these two things. He's got the Quadratech one that he had bought that did not get installed before, so we're going to use this one. The wiring is a lot thicker. As you can see between the two of them, the difference in the gauge is pretty drastic. So we're going to go with this one just because it gives you a little bit more flexibility. He's got the ability to tap a few other things in there. So we're going to use that one. But looks like to getting started on this, we're going to actually work from the inside and get a few of those things set up and then feed the wires on the outside. So you're going to join us. All right, guys. So first step here is getting this trim panel removed. So trying to get a little plastic pry tool in here and pop it. You can sort of get your fingernail behind here to Alright, so you get the clips on this out, you just kind of work your way around slowly, and then you disconnect this guy here and this guy here, and kind of move this out of the way. And then we're going to get the radio bezel off, which is 2 Phillips screws underneath. Careful you don't drop them. I did that one time in my Wrangler and it was not fun trying to find it.
The little cubby is so handy.
Oh, it is very handy. I literally pulled it out of my JL to toss into my Gladiator, so I didn't have to worry about buying another one. And this, same thing, just some couple clips that will not want to come loose on your there we go. There we go. So as you can see, 6 clips around the top. And then you've got 4 screws around the radio. Again, be very careful not to drop these things. Then you get your radio out, and you'll disconnect all this fun stuff. Almost all of it's color coded, so it's not too bad to try to figure out what's what when you're putting it back in. Then what you gotta do is you gotta take this apart. You gotta pop this red cover off the front, which I'm gonna grab a different screwdriver. And then we've got to figure out which exact holes that this is going to go into. So we'll figure that out here in just a moment. There might be some sort of numbering on it, which I'll check the diagram and we'll figure that out here in just a moment.
Okay.
All right, so take a small screwdriver, pop it on either end. I used a hook pick and it kind of didn't really do as much as I wanted to, but small screwdriver in between just lets you pry it up. Then it lets you see all the other side of the pins. So should be number 21 and 22 over here, which I'll try to get a close-up here once we figure out which particular ones they are. Probably have to do some counting or something like that, but there's a diagram that shows you where it goes, so I'll bring that onto camera so you can see that as well now.
Okay.
All right, so reading the paperwork, the bottom two are the ones that you want. Let's see if I can get my 2 fingers in here to put these in the correct spots. Yellow one at the bottom, black one at the top. And I can't get them to do them, so I'm gonna do them one at a time. And you just wanna go until you hear a click. And it clicked. And then what you'll do is you'll just take this red guy and put it back on top. And there you go. So then essentially you've got now your pigtail to plug your harness into it. So next thing we're going to do here is start running some wires, and then also pop this screw out and pop this panel out here next then as well, so that way we can get to your jumper harness here for the cigarette lighter adapter, so you have a power connection right here, which the nice thing is then he'll have the ability to tap into that for other things, some auxiliary lighting or whatever. So, but yeah. Screw here to get this off, and then there's just a handful of clips around the outside edge, so just work carefully. But then that gets you right here to this plug, so that way you can use it to connect that jumper harness. If I can get my fingernail on this guy here. Hardest part in getting the finger to it. All right, there we go. So that jumper harness is going to plug right in here, and then you're going to have the other side that plugs into the harness for the camera, and then that way you've got power connected to it. So power, and then this, and then the rest of it is going to be running the lines from the front to the back. There is a spot underneath the dash, which we'll try to get you a quick picture of, so you can see where you can run it through if you have an automatic. It's essentially where the clutch pedal went through the firewall, so it's a pretty decent grommet that you can use. He already had some things running through that, so we're just going to pop these right through it as well, and start working on the rest of it here. So harness here, you've got this connection point, got the RCA cable, and then power and ground. With the Quadratech one, it actually gives you like a little screw terminal, so I'm just going to loosen both of these, which actually looks like they are going red in red.
Figures everybody wants to mow and weed whack when we're recording.
That's how it always works. All right, so get them connected, give a little tug test, and make sure it works. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this, plug these couple things in up front here, and then show you running the wiring through the wall. All right, so back in the car, you're going to have this that's going to plug into here, and then that's going to plug into there. But first, we're going to get this RCA cable run up behind here. Let's see if we can. This, there we go. All right, and plug in here, plug in here, and then just plug in right here. And clicked. So all this stuff is just going to kind of hang out behind here, so we'll find a nice spot here in a moment to get this all cleaned up once we get the wiring run through here. But we're going to have this connection here. So we're going to run from this connection out through the engine bay and plug it in the front, and then we're going to pop the grill off and get the camera installed in the grill. All right, so connected that. It's just a slide and click connection, and then just kind of routed the wiring behind this down, and then popped the this panel off, since you have to have a taser to do this anyway. If you haven't installed your taser, now's the time, because it's right behind here. So this gives you a little more access to get to the wire and get your fingers through there. You can maybe see my finger. Yep, you can see my finger through there. So it gives you the ability to run that wire down there pretty easy. And then underneath the dash here, let's see if we can get a spot. You can see up under there is and it's too dark. There's a spot underneath here where the clutch plate is. So just a circle black grommet that's probably about 1.5 inches or so. You should be able to pop that off, or just fish the wire through it. So you've got enough harness essentially here to get a good distance away, and then you just have this little connection which plugs into the camera, which before we get too much farther, I'm actually going to plug it into the camera here and test it out and make sure it works, so that way we don't have to take everything all back apart just to try it. So probably not a bad idea before you get too far into the process of just giving it a quick check. All right, so got everything buttoned back together here because we connected it and it worked. So I'll show you real quick then, once we get done hooking up everything with what you need to do to activate it under the taser. But it's under the radio settings, and the second thing in there is the cargo cam. So you just turn that on and then do the reboots and stuff like that. But let me see if I can get this flashlight here up in to show you where it's at. But it's right up here in this corner. Kind of see these couple other wires that are in that same spot. I'm gonna show you right here from the outside. It's really easy to see on the outside. It's literally right down in here. So you can see a couple other wires coming through, but it's pretty much right next to your steering pump and stuff. So right there. So he's got a couple other wires running through there. So we're just gonna run the wire loom along here, which we've got plenty of it. So we're gonna run it through and then pop the grill out here so we can get into that, and then do the connection of the camera. So we're in the home stretch. So once you get to the grill, you got a clip here, 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 and a clip here. There's a total of 7 of them, and they're sort of pop clips where you pop the clip and then it just lets you pull it all out. So using like a small screwdriver and then like a small pry tool, something like this, makes it super easy. And then to get the grill off, once you do that, it's just held on by clips. So you just kind of give it a little bit of yank and off it comes. So we're going to take this, and then we're going to connect the camera to the back of it here, and then we'll finish running the wire, and then we'll be all done. So once you get the camera out, it just goes right in the middle here. You can kind of see that there's a little L bracket that goes around the back, and then a little plastic washer, and then a nut that lets you kind of tighten it on there, and then it lets you have the this dangling, and then we're just going to run it around over here and then connect it. Once you get the camera in there and then your wire run, it's 2 little arrows, literally just line them up and click it. Because it's red and it sticks out, we're going to wrap it with black electrical tape so it's not as noticeable. And then at that point, we're done. Once you get everything all installed, you can go to cargo cam, and then you've got the view out of the front there. And then you can also hit the reverse one and be able to see the backup cam, which tailgates down. And just like that, we're done. Thanks. So this is a final shot then of the camera installed. Tightened down, stays in place. Pretty cheap install option. I think it's about half the price of what the Z Automotive is, which the Z Automotive is actually not a high definition camera as well. So it's just a standard definition, just because of something to do with the limitations of the radio display or something like that. But thanks for joining us. We'll probably have some other installs here coming soon, but be sure to like and subscribe and stick around for the next one, guys. Thanks a lot.